Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you are in the world. My name is Jade, and this is How to App on iOS. And today we're revisiting a really cool app called FRMS. We're going to go through some of the sound packs that have been added to it. But first, we're going to kick off with a brand new single from the one, the only, Thomas Gillane. This is Bloodline.
Let it down, let it down with me, let it down with me, let it down with me.
Howdy do. What's going on, everybody? I hope you're all doing well. That was Thomas Gillane and guest vocalist James Timms. And yes, it is a quite a departure for... did I say Thomas Cross or Thomas Gillane? I don't know. Too many Thomases. Thomas Gillane. Man, it's early. I need more coffee. Yeah, it's quite a departure for Thomas Gillane because he normally does these epic, dramatic piano pieces, and here he is doing something totally out of the comfort zone, completely different, and much respect for that, absolutely. So that is called Bloodline. It has just dropped on all streaming services, so absolutely worth your time if you like that. There's links up the top of the chat, so you can go and do that and click the streaming services, go over to his YouTube, hit sub if you want to hear more because he's got some really, really fantastic stuff. Yes, indeedy. Hello, I hope everybody's doing well. This is How to App on iOS, where every day we look at apps, things, stuff, and things. Sometimes we stuff things. Who knows what happens? We do interviews, talk about mental health and well-being, and occasionally on the weekend I do a live performance. This weekend, in fact, I am doing a live performance in the real world. I know, right? I'm actually going out and playing a massive gig at Federation Square here in Melbourne, so it's super exciting. Yeah, yeah, Saturday it is here in Australia, so I'm pretty excited about it. Should be cool. Haven't played a live gig in 2 years. Even though it's only a 20-minute set, it's going to be really exciting. Just me and my guitar playing in front of what could possibly be quite a few thousand people because it is part of the Melbourne Midsummer Festival. It is the Trans Pride concert. So there's going to be a lot of people there, I do expect. Will I be streaming it onto the channel? Possibly. It all depends on the internet that I can get there. So I possibly will be streaming it live. If not, I will be streaming it probably the next day as a premiere. Oh yeah, let's do this stuff. There's a Facebook page. You can go over here. There it is there. We All Rise Together. It is facebook.com/groups/We All Rise Together. Also, the show is telecast daily over at the Twitch at twitch.tv/howtoapp on iOS. There is a Patreon if you would like to join that, where every weekend we take a look at your songs, master them, and do some app giveaways, and that's at patreon.com/Jade Starr. Also, the show is telecast here on the YouTube at youtube.com/Jade Starr. Hit the like if you would like. If you don't like, don't do it. But it helps the channel, so please do so. If you are new to the channel, please hit the subscribe button for more, hopefully interesting content. Yes, let's say hello to folks in the chat, and then we'll jump into today's app because it is a revisit of something I looked at last year and probably know a little bit more about it now than when I first looked at it. Hello, Syf, and good to see you. Thomas Christ, Gary Hubbs, Ed Zielinski, Gregory O'Sullivan, SM Borthwick, Russ, hello to you. Russ says he's popping in and out today. You going to do your little thing today, Russ? Set up by Marshall, hello to you. Michael Nervous, good to see you. Have I missed anyone? Ed Zielinski, and hi Suzanne, hi Kev Hart. Stream it, but don't forget your parking. No, I won't forget my parking. The parking thing, man. So they gave us load-in times and stuff for this gig, yeah? And they've given us the ability to park our car at this venue. And I had to fill in all the loading sheets to get my pass and everything. They wanted to know the weight and dimensions of the car. I got some scales to weigh pot, but I can't weigh a car. But anyway, that's another story. Are there any price drops today? One in particular that has just dropped. MIDI mixer by 4 Pockets, which is $6.99 down to $4.99. Everything else hasn't changed from yesterday, so there's really not much happening on the price drops. Red Shrike, Fly Tape have price drops. I'm sure there will be in the next coming month or so. There'll be more price drops on the horizon, so we can get out of here quickly and talk about this, because we are looking at Frames today. FRMS by Imaginando. It is a granular synthesizer with a subtractive and additive synthesis, FM synthesis, and it's incredible. You can make some, when I first did a show on this, I was kind of making horror sounds with it because it is absolutely incredible. $15.99 to pay for it outright. You get a whole bunch of really cool presets in there and the ability to make your own because you can import your own wave files in here because it's a granular synthesizer where you import your own wave files and you can fuck with them to your heart's content. But we'll get into that in a second. Now, there are presets. Maybe Sai or somebody or Thomas can help us out and just click on the App Store and let me know, because I think the price of the in-app purchases that we're going to look at today, I think they're $5.99. And there's 5 altogether, but I'm looking at 3 because I covered 2 in the first video. So I'm pretty sure US, they are $5.99. But in Australia, they're $10.99. So there's that. Here it is on the App Store for you guys to look at. As you can see here, when I scroll to the bottom, in-app purchases are $10.99 Australian. So I'm guessing that's around $5.99 US and UK. $6.99. There you go. Thank you so much. I was close, $1 off. But as you'll see, they're incredibly worth it. So let's jump in and have a look at it. I'll explain the app a little bit briefly as well, so you get an idea of what's going on. I don't want to spend too much time on it. I did do a show on it last year, but I went back and watched my show last night, and I was still very much a novice when it came to synthesis. So I think I understand things a lot better these days than what I did then. So here it is. If we open it up, we've got to open in AUM. And I have a sound already built in here. So I've got my keyboard set up here. Wow, pretty intense stuff. Hi, Joe Glenn, good to see you. So yeah, you can make some incredible stuff with this. Let's have a look at the interface just so you understand what is happening. So you have 4 layers. We're going to start up here where all the action begins. You have 4 layers built into this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and you can see when I change those, this 4th one has a wave file in here. We'll get to why that is like that. When we go 3, there's nothing there. 2, 1. And what you'll see underneath here is almost the exact same thing. In fact, it is the same thing. So you've got 2 layers, 2 copies of this layer here. So if I go to number 4, you'll see both of them change. And the reason this is, so you can look at what's going on here. And down here, you can actually go in and mess with all of these functions down here. So it's like a split screen kind of view. So we'll just leave this on control. Let me have a sip of coffee before we get into this. So you've got 2 ways you can make sounds with this particular instrument. And they are split down the middle here. So here are your controls. This side of everything, over here in this little rectangle, from here all the way across, is what you use to control these wave files, to generate different sounds out of the waves that you import or you use that are built into the app. Over this side is to control the synthesizer. All right, so I'm going to mute this track. I'm going to solo this track, sorry. And we are on track 4, which is this wave file. So if I hold down a note, you can see these little dots moving around over here. This is it's moving across this file and it's playing part of that wave file. You can control how wide you want to use this WAV file. So you have all these knobs over here. As I said, this section controls this. So I can do an offset here. And if you see, when I turn this offset knob, this moves the section that's being played. So now I move this over here and hold down a note. I can also change the size. So if you see this knob here, if I turn the size up, it gives me a lot longer section of the WAV file that I'm playing. I can change the density, which is the amount of dots that are bouncing back and forward over this file. Yeah, so if I turn the density up, you'll notice a lot more action happening. I can detune it. So if I pull down here, so I can turn this up and down. And I can spread out the dots with this knob here. So if you see, this is called amp spread. So you notice when I've got it turned all the way down, I hold down a note, all the dots that are traveling across the screen, they're all very close together. But if I turn this up, you can spread these out and you get different effects from there, yeah? Pretty simple stuff. So that is how you control this WAV file, or the things on this WAV file. You can randomize some stuff here down the bottom. You can randomize, you can turn up randomization on all of these as well. So as I hit a different key each time, you can see the dots are moving up higher, down lower. We're randomizing a whole lot of stuff, yeah? So you can do all that kind of stuff. Let's turn all that down. And you can actually control this little window here. Now listen to the difference. So this is like an envelope here, yeah? And I can turn this back up and you'll see much louder. So that is the basic controls of this actual WAV when you import something. The other section, let's unsolo this and click on number 3. Show you full screen. Number 3. Now you'll notice there isn't a WAV file in here. But when I solo this and hold down a key, we're getting a totally different sound. Yeah, this is the synthesizer working its ass off for you. And this is where this section over here comes in. Over here, you can choose the wave form that you would like. So this is currently set to a sine wave. I can change it to a saw, square, triangle. Okay, you can change the coarseness of it. You can change the octave of it. You can change the cutoff. You can change the panning. But where this gets interesting is, so with this get it together, dickhead. This oscillator running. You can actually go over here and change the effects of this. So you've got an envelope here that you can go in and mess with. You have a matrix here as well. And you also have your modifiers. So you have here an LFO, an arpeggiator. And how you activate the LFOs is in this matrix. This matrix is super cool. You can see you've got down the side here all these LFOs, 4 LFOs. And you can just turn up anything along here. So if I just randomly turn up the cutoff here for this LFO, turn up this for this LFO, and just randomly turn up a bunch of things. You can hear we're getting this variation in sound. I can now go into the modifiers and change the shape of the LFOs. So that's a basic kind of understanding of how to program this stuff. If you want to go back and watch the other video, I do break it down a little bit more. I don't want to spend too much time on this today. But as I said, you've got 4 layers here to add 4 different things in. Hello, Zach. Good to see you. John Frank Songs. Hello to you. Okie doke. We want to go back here to, let's go back to our waveform. So, as I said, you've got these 4 controls, and currently number 3 is soloed. So I need to unsolo. So you can see when you bring all these together, if I go to number 1 now and solo, if I go to number 2 and hit solo, go to number 3 and hit solo, go to number 4 and hit solo. So when they all come together, this is how you get pretty incredible stuff. You can really, let your mind go crazy. Once you're in one of these layers, down here in your control page, you can choose between the oscillator or a wave file. So right now I have the oscillator selected, the granular selected, sorry, so I can control a waveform in here. And when I turn it back to oscillator, only these controls are available to me. So basically, at the end of the chain here, you have a delay and a reverb as well. So I'll show you how to import a wave file, which is super easy. So let's say we're in track layer 1 at the moment, and I'm just going to change this to a granular. So it says no file loaded. You can load in anything that is, because within the sound packs, they give you the chance to load in individual waves. So there's a whole bunch of these waves you can add. So I can just grab this gentle chords and load it in now, and the sound I can go out and find another sound. There's one that's called guitar here. Guitar ARP. Let's load that. And when I solo this, you can hear what's going on. Now you notice the dots here are all traveling one way. You can actually change this. They're in a loop at the moment. I can change this to go ping pong so that you can see now they're going backwards and forwards, or just go one way and end. So you've got a whole lot of variation to do things in here. You can import your own files as well. Really easy. You just go down to, so you, we'll get out of this. Go. There's this little download feature here. And when I click on this, you go down to imported, and you'll see there's a little import button, and I can just import whatever I want. So let's get out of here. Let's just grab something random. I don't know what this is. Will it import? Maybe not. We'll try something else. Let's see. There we go. So we've imported this one here. And now I can load this. File's too big. So there you go. It has to be 2 meg. All right. So let's just import this one. We'll load this. What? This one says too big as well. Or am I doing the wrong one? What's going on? File must not. I thought I had this loaded yesterday. But anyway, let's try grabbing this one here. Did that load? Here we go. So this is something that I've loaded in here. So you can pretty much load whatever you want. It says there it has to be a 2 megabyte file underneath too. So that's something to keep in mind. So that's the basic idea. You've got 4 layers to layer things on top of each other. You have like this additive, subtractive FM synthesizer, and you can import your own wave files in, combine them within the four layers, and create some pretty disturbing stuff. Let's go through some sound packs because that's what this is about today. Hello to Deep Gravity. Hello, Pete Johns. Good to see you. And good to see Deep Gravity. And Barry Glenn, hello to you. So, when you purchase this, as I said, it's $15.99. You get a whole bunch of factory presets. And look, there's tons. There's so many factory presets. It's ridiculous. Let's just play a few quickly. This one's called War of the Worlds. So we're right at the bottom of the list here. We've got a UFO sound here. So as you can see, there's some pretty heavy stuff. If we have a look at what's going on with these as well, quickly. Just so you can see, this first track here, we'll solo it so you can hear exactly what's happening. So we've got a sine wave running there. Pretty low sine wave. Hello, I have an idea. Good to see you. Number 2 track has this sample going. Now you're probably thinking to yourself, why is that moving? Why is that section moving? What's really cool is you can go in here and mess around with the LFO. So as I discussed in the beginning, you've got this offset here. You've got the size. You can make this larger or smaller. You've got the density. If you go into your LFO matrix here, you'll notice we have LFOs that are pointing towards the density, the size. So these are controlling that movement. So if I hold down a key and turn down some of these, so you'll see this number here. If I pull this all the way down, that's changing the offset. If I turn the size down, so you can really take this out of control and create some really bonkers stuff with your LFOs. If we jump into the modifier here and change this to something a bit more crazy. So you can absolutely go nuts with this shit. It's wicked, wicked, wicked. So that's track 2. That's layer 2. Layer 3 has the same sample. It looks like set up in here, but it's set to a different tuning, and it's got a whole different LFO selected to it. So if we go to number 4, here we are with the same one again, but at a totally different tuning, totally higher, different LFO set to it. And when you bring them all back in together, you get and this is the beauty of granular synth. Yeah, so we'll go back through some more presets. These are some of the ones, again, that are included in the original onset price. Some spiritual chanting, maybe. Nuts. So there's a whole heap of sounds in here that are part of the packs. So many great sounds in here. Again, if you want to see more of those, I went through heaps of them in the first video I did. The other two packs, which I did in that previous video too, were the Supremasia Music Cinematic. So there's a whole bunch of really outrageous cinematic stuff in here. Whole lot. All. So I already went through a lot of these. So there's a good number of stuff in here. These are really brutal. So and each of these too, you'll notice we've got these filters here. So each of these have tags attached to them. So if you're just looking for something like, let's say a drone, you can click on this and it'll bring all the drones to the front of the list. Wow, look at that. It's gone all the way to the bottom. So that is the music cinema. The other one I went through on the show was the sounds of saxophone. Now, there's some beautiful sounds in here. Let me find... I'm just picking some stuff at random. These were from the previous show. Wow, how big is that? Really big. All says, do you have any hardware besides plugins? I have a lot of gear. And if you nice segue, if you want to know the gear that I have, you can head over to this place, the website at How to App on iOS, or gear.howtoapponios.com. I'll take you to my gear guide, which has pretty much all the stuff that I use in the studio. Most of the stuff that I use in the studio, so be it stream decks or keyboards, amps, all this kind of stuff. This is all the stuff that I own, and anything that you purchase from links here, Amazon break off a chunk and send it to me. So that is my gear guide, which is gear.howtoapponios.com, and that will take you here. There's a whole lot more stuff which I don't have on there, but we're getting around to it. So eventually. I love this one. This is The Detective. And doesn't it sound like a fucking detective movie? And what's going on in there? Let's show you what's actually happening in here. So if you hit solo, here's the first the first layer, and you'll notice this is running backwards here. So we've got a reverse, and you can choose backwards here. Let's listen to the next track. So that's pretty much the same thing running forwards. Track 3 is a higher pitch running forwards, and 4 is the same higher pitch running backwards. So when you bring them all together, maybe I'll bring them all together. So you can super make some incredible stuff with this. So they were on the previous show. Let's run through some of these. This Antique Shop is the latest one, and there's some really filthy sounds in here. I'm going to run through from the top, and we'll see if we can get to the bottom of these. And you can choose mono and poly in these too, so you can actually have the option to choose poly sounds or mono. It's like a very demented Jingle Bells. Man, great for some really ambient noise stuff. And just so you know, like I said before, if you want to change the sample in here, so you've got this one in here, you can actually go in and hit this waveform, and you can choose any of the sounds from these packs. So they actually give you all these sounds that are in here. So I can choose any one I want, this toy can guitar, and load this in. It's really easy to save brand new sounds as well. You've got a save button here, so you can go in, rename it, save it as whatever you'd like, and save your new sounds. So that's cool. Let's go back into here. Anything that you come across that you like, you've got a little star button. You can just say, I like that, and click it, and that will save it to your favorites. So you can click on your favorites here at any time, and it will be saved over there. There's a reason I just clicked that one. This one's called Feline Prodigy. It did sound like a cat. So remember, you can add your own sounds in here if you've got like a vocal take or anything like that. So a choir or anything you want. So this antique shop is probably one of the larger packs, so I definitely can recommend this pack. It's wow, stunning, lovely, beautiful, stunning, like a quail's egg, delicious, stunning. Let's have a look at some of the sounds from the Glitches from the Heart pack. We'll go from the top here. So it's a smaller pack, this one, but there's a whole lot going on here. Some really beautiful sounds in here. And I'm just holding down one key here. And that's creating all of this. So you can see this one too has multiple wave files in it. It has like 4 of them, and it has a synth sound in here as well. So a sine wave. Stunning. And you can see with this one, the LFOs are absolutely working overtime here. So you can see we have LFOs, one here. And I think that's the only one that's going, yeah. There you go. So we've just got this one. Let's add in a few. How can I go past a preset that is called Don't Fuck It Up? You hear that, YouTube? Don't censor me. It's what the preset's called. Hello, Audible Video. And I've just favored that one because I can possibly use that in something. Stunning. This one's called Nero the Epileptic Dog. Go figure. Beautiful, delicious, delightful. Stunning. So the last one in here, we'll just go over briefly. So here are the sounds of guitar. And if we go in here and mute this, solo this, let's hear. So you can hear it's an actual guitar part there. If we bring this back to the start. Stunning. And from my testing this out, a lot of the presets in here are actual imported WAV files of guitar parts. Beautiful. So there you go. What I want to wrap up with today, because I've got to get out of here in 5 minutes. I know Pete Johns has a show coming up where he's going to take a look at Logic. And you know what that means, folks? That means he's never going to use GarageBand on iOS ever again. So hit the panic buttons and type away, send Pete an email. I'm a bitch. No, he's going to be making a song, I do believe, in Logic. And yes, I forgot, Russ's track of the day, folks, is 15th Bend. Click on that link after this show. Go and check out 15th Bend. It's a collab. It just dropped. I heard it the other day, the Lily Pillies with 15th Bend. Go and check it out and support your local YouTube artist. The last thing I'm going to do today is open up GarageBand because, as you know, I'm trying to finish this song from my Loopy project, and I have this middle section, and I want to try and throw in some of these sounds I just favored in here. So what we're going to do quickly is go over here. We're going to add an audio unit extension and find frames. There it is. And what I've done is I've looped the middle bit in here just so I can test this out, so I can see if any of these sounds that I've favored actually work. So we're going to go into the patch bay here, click favorites, and you'll see we've got a couple of these. Which one was it? This one? We've got this one. I think that one for now. And what we're going to do is hit play and see how these sound in here. Cool, I'm digging that. I'm going to try this one now. This is the one I want to try. That's exactly kind of what I'm looking for. So we'll just hit record quickly. And 2, 3, 4. Sweet. And let's go in and edit that. And I'll show you what I mean, because here's exactly what I want here. Let's just go in and fix these. I'm going to redraw these in. Now I'm going to copy these quickly. What have we got? We've got a minute left. Let's delete. And we'll paste these in here. Okay, let's have a listen. Cool. So that's the beginning to what I want to do with this song. So that is it for today. I'm going to hopefully get all these ideas for this song done today. So hopefully tomorrow we can wrap up this Loopy Pro project and upload it and release it. If I don't get my shit together because of stuff, it will be postponed till next week. It just is what it is. But I'm going to do my best to get this finished today. Yes. Before I go, let you know, folks, we have a really awesome interview coming up this week. So please come along and join us. We have Venus DeMars, all the way from Minneapolis. She's an amazing, amazing, amazing punk rock transgender artist who has toured the world, played with some amazing artists, and she's going to come and join us. And she's got there's a film about her. There's a documentary about her life. She's a writer. She's absolutely incredible. You'll be blown away. And DistroKid are sponsoring this show. So please come and join me for that at the end of this week. Hope you had a good day. Pete's up next. Do the things that make you happy. Mistakes make you better. And we all rise together. And I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.